Hi, welcome back. We're talking about Project 1, and I've got a few sketches done for some of my pictographs. Since I'm not being graded, I only did 2 pictographs. You guys need to do 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out a way to combine visually 2 pictographs in order to create what's called an ideograph or ideograph, depending on who you talk to. So I'll point the camera down to some things here that I have. Here, maybe you recognize the first pictographs. I've done those earlier. We have the wave drawn 5 different times. Now, I'd only gone so far in my demonstration, but I went ahead and drew it a 4th and 5th way. So these are all of my symbols that represent my visual interpretation of a wave. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you want to number your sketches and organize them similarly to the way I have. I put wave and picto, so everybody's going to know what I'm talking about. We need to visually communicate really well. Now, in addition to the wave, I chose another tangible object for a pictograph, and that was the bird. So I drew the bird. I drew a bird symbol 5 different ways. Again, none of these are the same. So here it's a bird standing, and here it's almost like the inspiration was a parrot flying. I very simplified these. Some could be simplified more, but the idea is to simplify. Here I have a bird that's landing. Here I have another bird. It's like a seabird that's flying. You can see I made a note of in the composition. It says move this to the right. And then I have, just a generic sort of pigeon-looking or parrot-looking bird, just something that's kind of more close in. So this is drawing. I've drawn symbols for birds 5 different ways. Now what I want to do is I want to combine the wave and the bird. Now, visually, why would I do that? Well, in cultures that have evolved as writing evolved, some things were combined, which we created what we call the ideograph. I'm going to do an ideograph for the word freedom. Freedom is a non-tangible. It's something you can't touch. Now, freedom is a combination of waves, or wave, and bird. To me, the combination of those 2 will represent freedom. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to find a symbiotic relationship between these 2 things. Now, tracing paper, one of the big reasons why we use it is so we can trace, but another reason is when I lay these down, on top of these, I can look for things that have certain shapes in common. For instance, if you were to look at this wave and this bird, when I laid this over, ironically, they do share some common use of line and shape. So I got lucky on that one. So I might combine those 2. And upon further investigation, if I look at this wave, it's similar to some of the shapes in this bird. So I might combine those 2. And I'm going to keep pushing the idea of these symbols mixing. So this is a little bit more difficult because it is a little bit more abstracted. So I'm going to grab these. See if I can push this down a little bit. A little closer. I'm going to get pencil because I always start with pencil and then I go over it in marker. And sorry about the lighting in here. It's about as good as I've got. Put some white paper down that way you can cleanly see what's going on here. Now, what I do is I lay these down, and I sketch basically what I need here. Okay, so I'm just tracing over what I already have. So this is one wave, one of my waves. Again, I'm just tracing it in pencil. And then I'm going to trace a part of this bird. And I may erase some stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to erase that section because it was encroaching on where the bird was. But what we'll see here, see if I can get this even closer, is what I'm going to do, let me get this a little bit better here, is I'm going to have this shape come around, and his beak is going to go right here, and his mouth there, his eye goes here, and I have now combined bird with wave, and it looks kind of funny, looks kind of silly, but we'll see if I can make something of it. So I'm going to go over the sketch and marker again, just like I did before. Try to smooth things out a little bit, make it feel a little bit more uniform. And then I'll erase the pencil lines after the marker's dried up. The reason why it might look cheesy is because it looks like he's smiling. Okay, so here's a combination of two symbols coming together. They have a symbiotic relationship. One isn't just plunked on top of the other, you know, or one sitting over the other. They come together in a more seamless fashion. Okay, kind of looks like a bird with some nice, he's been to the salon. He's got some nice hair. Okay, so this is one sketch for what I am saying is freedom. Bird plus wave is freedom. I'm going to erase the pencil line to try to clean it up, because if I'm going to, if just like you guys have to put these online, you don't want them all messy and gross. Okay, I also want to put a number. Use sketch number 1. Okay, again, you want to identify on the piece of paper that it's an ideograph, what it represents, and I even put wave plus bird so people would understand what two things I combined. And then I put the sketch in there and put a number 1. Okay, so that's just one sketch.